Hey y'all, it's JessMelodies coming to you with another episode of Chicago Got Next. On this week we have the artist Reggie Smokez.
Good.
What's up, Reggie?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, man.
Good. So this week we're going to be talking about his latest album that he released this month, Holy Smokes. We're going to talk about it. We're going to take a deep dive and we're going to get to know the artist behind the scenes. For those who don't know, who is the artist Reggie Smokez?
The artist Reggie Smokez, formerly known as Reggie Smokez,
Okay, Prince.
is just a dude from the South Side, man.
Okay.
A guy from the South Side, just regular guy from the South Side.
Okay, regular
I guess
guy.
that's like the regular dude that just happens to be decent with words.
Okay.
Put some sentences together. So.
Okay. And then if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be?
Versatile,
Okay.
honest, and versatile, honest, and observation.
Okay.
Because a lot of in my music, I just put what I see. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just you just kind of just consider me a mirror. Like I'm
Yeah.
just showing you what I see every day.
Yeah, what you see and then your own experiences, of course. So when did you start rapping?
I started rapping in college, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
in college, man. I started rapping in college. I was like 19, dude, and me and my friends would just freestyle. We just smoke weed and just freestyle. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the name. You feel me? Reggie Smokez.
Yeah.
But and over time, like people started noticing, like, man, you kind of good. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I just kept getting better and better and better. And then until one of my best friend at the time, he was just like, man, yo, you need to start recording this. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, don't be gassing me up, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought I would do really music. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
always something I did, but I was focused on other things. So I started recording it and look back the first time I did it, and I liked it. 'Cause I
Yeah.
got hooked, so I just kept doing it ever since
Okay.
then. Yeah.
Now, would like on college campuses, would you be freestyling on campus and things like that, and y'all would have like little rap battles, or what
It
would
wouldn't be battles. It'd be more like ciphers. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Everybody's getting in a circle and spit
Okay.
their thing, and sometimes we
Okay.
try to go on each other and be funny. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But
yeah.
none of but honestly, none of them niggas could rap. You feel me?
Okay.
I was really the only one that really could. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So that's why eventually it went from. It started off with 4 or 5 of us in a circle, like all of us rapping. To months later, it was just like, let's get together and just hit Reggie rap. Because nobody else was even finna do it. Because it's like they couldn't even really touch me or like really mess with me like that. You know what I'm saying? So and it stopped being fun for them because I just
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they just couldn't. You know what I mean? So.
Have you ever thought about writing for other people?
I have thought about it. I think I've done it like once.
Yeah.
And that's still in the works. It's my sister is an artist as well. She sings.
Okay.
And I wrote her a record, and she never used it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I had another female friend who I decided to give it to. So whether or not she uses it, I don't know. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I hope she does. If she does, though, I will point and be like, hey, I wrote this.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, like, you kind of alluded to the fact that your name kind of comes from, those college days when you're with your friends and you're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Is that literally what it came from, or is there something else to it?
Well, it actually came from my brother.
Okay.
Because I dropped out of school. I was there for like a year and some change. And I came
Okay.
back home. And before I left, I was not drinking, doing no drugs, anything. Like
Okay.
my father would have my head on a plate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, nah, fam, I'm not going to risk that.
Yeah.
So when I went to school, you know what I'm saying? Whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
feel
You think
me?
you're grown.
So, hey, you know what I'm saying? You already know. So, started doing my thing or whatever. And I got back home and my older brother, me and him was smoking together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because he been doing it.
Yeah.
So he would say, man, every time I would come to his car, he would ask me, you got some smokes on you? Got some smokes? So eventually, eventually every time he saw me, he would just say, what up, Smokes? I know you got the smokes on you. What up,
Okay.
Smokes? You know what I'm saying? So eventually it turned into Reggie Smokez. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just adopted the name and just ran with it.
Okay. Because it could mean a variety of different things, not just smoking, but like
Smoke niggas
you
on
got
the mic.
right. That's
You know
what I'm saying.
I've heard people say that to me. You know
It
what I'm
could
saying?
be like you got
different
that smoke
interpretations.
for you when it comes to the rap.
Yeah, that too. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? That
Okay.
too. Take it how you want it. You know what I mean?
So, what rappers would you say influence you, or artists in general?
Just my top 5, bro. Like my top 5
Yeah, what are
favorite
your top 5?
rappers. It'd be Kanye, KRS-One, Nas, Ghostface. Maybe in the last spot it'd be like a fight to the death between like either Kendrick or Cole.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a nice lineup. I appreciate that lineup. Okay.
Thank you. You know, I try to cover all time because I like all hip hop. Like growing up with my pop, he would play the stuff that he grew up on, which was like 80s Arabian Rakim and people like this.
The birth. Yeah.
Yeah. So I listened to the whole range of it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
I had to cover all periods.
Got it. And then, kind of leading to that, we're gonna play the game.
Ooh, games.
Okay.
Let's go.
And so this one is gonna be called One's Gotta Go.
Oh, okay. I got you.
One's
I got you.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's gonna be one rapper versus another rapper, and you gotta pick the one that's gotta go.
All right.
Okay. And so first one, Jay-Z versus Nas.
Sorry, Jay. Gotta go.
Jay's gotta go?
Gotta go.
All right.
I love him, but.
Okay. And then Lil Kim versus Nicki Minaj.
I'm gonna give Kim the boot.
Kim, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not even like, her influence is obviously unmatched, but
yeah,
I'm more familiar with Nicki's music. That's more my time. Like, I ain't gonna front and say I'm a huge Kim. I can't even name you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm gonna just say Kim. Though I know a lot of her music and I love it, but I'm more familiar with Nicki's stuff. So.
Okay. So Kim's gotta go.
Yeah.
Cole versus Kendrick.
Now the real challenge begins. I would take Cole over Kendrick, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give Kendrick the boot, unfortunately.
Interesting. Okay. Ghostface versus Method Man.
Meth Man gotta go. You gotta go, Meth. Like, I love them both to death, to death. But Ghostface is my favorite Wu-Tang member. Like,
okay.
I'm sorry, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's close though.
It's
so it's like you can't go wrong with either or.
You can't.
Right.
Really, in any of these, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Particularly that one for sure.
Okay. And then Pac versus Biggie.
Pac gotta go.
Pac gotta go. Okay.
I'm just more East Coast like.
Which I can tell, which we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Da Baby versus Lil Baby.
Lil Baby gotta go, man.
I'm with that.
Lil Baby
I'm with
go,
that.
G.
Although I like Lil Baby, but Da Baby is like.
Oh yeah, I love Lil Baby, but you know, the Baby, I like his style. You know what I'm saying? I like his.
Love his style.
You know what I'm saying? I like hearing him rap.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you never know what he'll say. He's funny, like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I like Lil Baby though.
Okay. And then the controversial Drake versus Pusha T. He just did an interview too. If you want to see that, Drake. And he talked about all of that whole ordeal.
Well,
but I think it was Rap Radar.
Okay, now I'm about to go look that up. Sorry, Push. I love you, but
Push gotta go.
Drake, he scratches too many itches, man. He got the R&B records, he got everything.
He
like,
got something for everybody,
like,
and he can like change his sound. Like he changes his sound every album, which I respect.
And Push is a lyrical juggernaut for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude is amazing, but
facts.
But sometimes I want to hear sometimes want to hear, you know what I'm saying, passion fruit or something.
They say, you know what they say? They like when somebody got the aux cord. Are they gonna say put on that Drake, or are they gonna say put on Pusha?
Sorry,
Valid,
bro.
Valid.
We love you. You know what I'm saying? And that diss record was hard, but
it was
popularity, man. What can you do?
And then next one, Meg Thee Stallion versus Cardi B.
I wonder who you choose in that situation.
I already know.
I guess I'll take Meg. I'll take Meg. I think
Dad, you said that like you almost didn't want to give it to Meg. Meg is a writer.
She is like
Meg can freestyle like
for sure. But I like Cardi's music. You know what I'm saying?
You like her music better.
It's like I don't know if even I'd say that, but it's just like her stuff is like a guilty pleasure. Like I just go ignorant to some Cardi B. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's valid because the thing is I like Cardi too. I like her music, but when it comes to like the artistry of it, it's like I gotta hand it to Meg. For sure. I gotta hand it to her,
and that's why I gave it to her because I'm like they both make records that entertain me.
Yeah,
but it's like I have to give it to her.
And they talk about similar things.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But she, Meg definitely does it with more skill, more.
Exactly.
You can tell that she's like lyrically versatile. And, you know what I'm saying? She's talented. So that's why I give it to her. Okay.
So Cardi gotta go.
Yeah.
All right. Future versus Gucci.
Future gotta go. Future gotta go.
Y'all, that just hurt me.
I gotta take him. I'm sorry, G. I gotta take him. Like
what?
I was gotta
that just hurt my soul.
Like, really? You would choose Future?
Yes.
Really? Huh.
Yes. Well, I can literally rap Future word for word. Like, Gucci was cool, like, back 08, 09. Like, that was, like, pre-jail Gucci, like, ratchet Gucci.
You don't like the new Gucci, yeah?
New Gucci, he's cool, but, yeah.
I feel you. I understand, man. But I don't know. Future cool, but I don't know. Like, the way Gucci rap is more, like, entertaining to me. Like, I don't know.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. And then Chance versus Saba.
Ooh. Ultimately, I'm gonna have to go with Chance, just because I'm more familiar with his music. Like,
so Saba gotta go.
Yeah, Saba gotta go. Because I only know like one album, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's a dope album.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to take him over Chance at this moment. So no disrespect to his talent. Though.
Respect.
Yeah.
And then last one, Ye versus Common. I had to do it to him.
Sorry, Common. I love you. I really do.
The funny part is that I thought I knew where he was going, and it just didn't happen.
I'm sorry. I love Kanye too much, bro. I love Kanye too much. And Common is like a close second if we doing that. But Kanye is just a variety, bro. Like,
see, I would assume you would pick Common because of that lyrical content, like the things that he talks about. It's very similar to kind of what you talk about. It's very political and things like that. Whereas Kanye is just.
But I think
Kanye likes to talk about Kanye.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the man is self-centered and can be arrogant, but But what I like about Kanye versus Common is that, and the answer that you just gave about why you thought I would like Common is kind of why I shy away from him more, because it's like I'm that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I write about stuff like that, so it's like I don't want to keep. You know what I'm saying?
Sense.
Whereas with Kanye, it's more musicality. Like, he will get in the bones of the beat and the way he uses production, and then the bars, and then the way he can get the right artists and grab them and put them. Like, he's an arranger. Like, he's like just a musical, the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And then, so when you hear a project, it's like you're hearing like his experience and like his brain, you know what I'm saying, through the beat, through everything. So it's like that, and the person who has that kind of control over their vision musically and can do that, I'm always more excited to hear what he's gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, he knew at a different angle. The beat is new and innovative. The rhymes, then you got this person on the record, and it's like, damn. And it's like just so many combinations of what he can do with different tools and sounds, and like that is infinitely more like fascinating to me as opposed to Common may be a little bit more... He's a more single track, like, you know what I'm saying? You kind of know what you get.
Not as multifaceted.
With it's like every album is a new experience, like, you know what I'm saying? And I like that better. You know what I'm saying? To me personally. But I love Common. Like,
valid.
We all know that, you know what I'm saying? That's because, and I love him so much that I end up kind of sounding like him, you feel me? Like, because I listen to him so much.
Right.
But definitely Kanye in the long run.
Okay. Not bad. Who do you think is the artist of the decade?
Probably Drake.
You said who?
Probably Drake.
Drake.
Decade's 10 years, yeah. You got to.
Okay.
Just to be fair.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
He'll definitely be in like my top 5.
Yeah, that man just been dominating like these past 10 years, like.
And consistently. I would say that,
Consistent variety.
Every single album, it's like, okay, this hits. Yeah. Okay. That works. And
get me on the track, Drizzy. What's up?
Drake, if you happen to be watching JessMelodies, okay, he wants to get on the track. We know you got something cooking right now, okay?
Yeah.
And then, do you remember what song like made you fall in love with hip hop?
Yes, it was My Philosophy by KRS-One.
Okay.
When I heard that song, it was like, yo, like, wow.
Yeah.
This is like bigger than music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this man is like a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man is really like sitting here breaking stuff down, like telling a story and like teaching a lesson. Like, to me, that just was like, wow, like, that was crazy. Like that, and can I have another one?
Go ahead.
That and probably a song from Illmatic called Nas is like, yeah.
Nas is like, okay.
Yeah, that's what the song's called. But when I heard that song, it just like blew my mind. I was just like, wow, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I almost connected to it on a spiritual level. I was like, this is like crazy. And
that's it.
And I was like relating to it so much of what he was saying, like, and I saw so much the same thing in my city, like, you know, him being from New York, me being from here. I'm like, that's just like how it is here.
Right.
Except just different slang, different place.
So who produced the project Holy Smokes?
Two people. There was this Canadian producer. His name is Steps Necessary.
Okay.
He reached out to me because he, I guess, found me on Instagram. I get a lot of love on Instagram. Shout out to Instagram.
Nice. Okay.
So he found me, and I guess he was like, yeah, dude, I like your music or whatever. I got beats if you want to use some. So I was like, all right, cool. So I perused his selection and whatnot, and picked out like 4 or 5 of them. He produced majority of it, and then there's this one other producer who I also met on Instagram, who I guess reached out to me on Instagram rather.
Yeah.
His name is Progression Music.
Okay.
I don't know it's the dude, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's real, but
yeah.
And then he actually gave me the beat I bought the beat for Chicago Love from him.
Interesting. Okay.
So it was all just gonna be step stuff, and then I heard that one, and I was like, dude, it fits so well in with everything else.
Right.
And it provided a good contrast to everything else, and more of a upbeat, kind of like uplifting sound, more like, you know, so. And then I heard that, and then my dad commissioned me to write him a song, Chicago Love, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause he was like, man, I want you to write a song for my brand, and like for, you know, to represent it and represent, you know, what his vision through the brand, which is like to represent the positive parts of the city and show people, you know what I'm saying, what doesn't get seen. So that's
okay. It was some great production, and you know, I mentioned this on my review, how it has a very like 90s New York sound.
Yeah, is that like
it's
nostalgic?
Very classic.
Yeah.
What made you kind of choose that sound, or did the producers present that to you, or how did you come about that?
I knew I kind of had a vision in my head for how I wanted it to sound. I wanted it to kind of sound kind of nostalgic, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't firmly have that, like, you know, in my head. I was just kind of combing through what they had, and then whatever stuck out to me.
And it just came together.
Yeah, and so, and I think just in my subconscious, like, that's the sound I like. So I just kind of end up recreating that, you know what I'm saying, in some type of way.
Especially when you say like some of your biggest influences are Nas. It's like, okay, that's like classic.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it just came out that way. You know what I'm saying. And then when I heard this beat for Chicago Love, it sounded so. It reminded me of like old Kanye production. You know what I'm saying, like from when he first started. You know what I'm saying. So that I knew that song had to be like the centerpiece of everything. So that's pretty much just how it came together. A combination of just what was available and just what stuck out to me. You know what I'm saying? Just putting it together. So
So for each song, it kind of starts off with like a news clip, right, of different things. And so whether it be the violence in Chicago, whether it be the feds watching, like whatever the case, but it's a news clip. What made you kind of go that direction of putting a news clip, and kind of what was the inspiration behind that?
I just wanted to add like a cinematic quality to it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I love like Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I'm saying? Like that project, like I love hearing the skits and the intros, and like I just love hearing the little extras around it. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to do that, and I wanted to make it relevant to the story I was trying to tell.
What made you kind of want to discuss politics and classism and systematic oppression and all of those things? It's like I would say just a mouthful of just different things that are happening, just not only in America but in the world, but also like just kind of within this city as well. Like, what made you want to talk about these things?
Well, I will say that this project is really like an extension. It's so natural because it's like more of an extension of just who I am, because these are things I talk about, you know what I'm saying, with friends and family of mine that, like, you know, we have conversations about these things, and they're important to me, and these are things that I see every day that I think about all the time.
And it's very intelligent, I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so yeah, you know, I enjoy you know, discourse on politics.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, like the next man. So yeah,
and
so
all the dirty politics in Chicago.
It's a lot to talk about, a lot of material. So yeah, I just want to do it my own way, man, and just express it. You know, my own way. So.
Okay. So kind of branching off, kind of the focal point of the album and kind of what the lyrical content is. What would you say is, you know, the current state of Black people in America? Like, are we headed in the right direction, or are we going backwards?
That's a big question. I think generally we are headed in the right direction, because I see more conversations about things that matter, like, going on, and that's encouraging. Like, because in my eyes, some of the biggest challenges we face really are like lack of education in a lot of different departments.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest ones are like mental health, financial literacy,
Ownership.
You know what I'm saying, in terms of business acumen, understanding that and learning it.
Yeah.
So to create that generational wealth, that's important as well. You know what I'm saying? And education, you know what I'm saying? So we are having conversations about these things, and to me, that's step one. You know what I'm saying? So that is encouraging. But there's still a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? There will always be that. You know what I'm saying? There will always be people who value themselves or value their own opinions more than the whole. You know what I'm saying? So that'll always be happening. But
yeah,
I think we generally are moving in the right direction. One big thing that we really, really need to do better at is like family structure. Getting that back together, because we have a lot of issues being caused by, you know, things like mental health and financial literacy are being affected because if you only got one parent, it's hard to sit up and teach your child how to balance a checkbook when you got 2 and 3 jobs you got to work, and maybe you got 2 or 3 kids, or, you know, so I think we have to do better with family structure. But generally, I think we're moving in the right direction.
Okay.
For sure.
And then also, I would say another thing is that, and social media could play a factor in this, how people, they kind of ride with the wave on kind of what they're outraged about.
Definitely.
And it's like, okay, we're outraged about this week, and then next week we've completely forgot about it and no one's talking about it anymore. And so I feel like there's just this lack of consistency and commitment. And I would also say this, like, I think that our generation is a little scary too. And what I mean by that is, like, you think of like different people that kind of fought for us, like the Malcolm X's and the Martin Luther Kings and things like that. It's like, you know, these people were willing to die. They literally died, you know, for the progression of black people in America. But I feel like it's kind of like anytime someone disrupts and, you know, they kind of get a little nudge or they get a slight little threat, and it's like they back off. And if we continue to have that, it's like, you know, there will never be like progression like we had in the 60s and the 70s.
I think that back then they had the advantage of at least having clear goals. You know what I'm saying? We were all together. The goal was clear. So it's just so fragmented now that I think it's hard to have like centralized leadership in that way.
Yeah.
And I think the stakes aren't as obviously high as they were back then. You know what I'm saying? So when the circumstances, well, what they tell you in like comic books or whatever, or things I've heard is that like, or themes you notice in stories like that is like when times are rough, that's when we need a hero. Prophecy, you know, the hero comes. You know what I'm saying? But times ain't rough for a lot of people. People are fine.
People are comfortable. So for the song Redline, featuring Don B. Hayes, one of the things you kind of talk about is like self-medication. And I wanted to sit here and talk about that for a quick second. And so, you know, self-medication when it comes to, you know, obviously you're trying to escape something, whatever it may be, right? And so I feel like there's definitely levels
for sure
to drugs, right? Definitely levels. And so if you're comparing like weed to cocaine, it's like, okay, cocaine can literally kill you. Like literally kill you. It will take you out. Whereas weed, you know, I mean, unless it's laced with something, I mean, people aren't out here dying from weed, from what I know, right? But although the effects are different, the reason for doing it is the same to me. You know what I mean? And so it's like, okay, you know, people do cocaine, you know, something's going on. Whether they know it or not, whether they can really dig deep to the root of it, something's going on. And so I feel like the same thing for weed as well. And I feel like it's a conversation that definitely needs to be had, right? And so there are people that, you know, they smoke every day. They smoke multiple times a day. And, you know, to me, it's like, okay, weed alters your brain. You know, it alters your mental state. And so it's like, okay, why do you feel like you have to do that every day? Like, why do you feel like you have to escape every day? And to me, you know, someone that maybe smokes weed often, you know, it's a form of kind of depression to me. What are your thoughts on that?
I could agree with that.
Okay. And then, like, some people may say, oh, but, you know, some people, they really need it for, like, medicinal purposes and things like that. And I know it helps a lot with, like, cancer patients and things like that. But so outside of that, people who don't have a medical issue and they do it in a recreational way, like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think I could definitely agree with that. I've met some people like that. I've met many people like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is about my face, but people tend to, like, spill their secrecy. I've had people, like, tell me, like, man, Reg, you just seem like an easy guy to talk to. Like, I feel comfortable talking to you. And so I've had many talks with many good friends of mine about things that have happened to them in their life. And before I had those talks with them, I didn't understand, like, the way they use drugs. You know, weed and beyond. You know what I'm saying? But just focusing on weed in this conversation. Yeah, a lot of them have told me, like, yeah, bro, like, I stay high, like, keeps me from feeling too much. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, people use it as a means of self-medication. For sure. Say that for me, that's definitely, like, part of my truth around why for me.
Okay.
Because when I did start, I was at school, and so I was dealing with a lot at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was it was a way for me to, and also I sometimes, like, deal with anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's a way to, like, slow this down and just, like, help me sleep, help me just, like, relax.
They push that college, like, agenda on us, and it's really not for everybody. I mean, some people, I mean, do I think that college served me? I do and I don't. I think I learned a lot being in college, and I got a lot of life experiences that did prepare me for life after that. But there's some people where I just understand where it doesn't work for them. You know what I mean? And so I think that we have to stop pushing that agenda, you know, and why rake up all them student loans when it's not something that you truly want to do.
No doubt.
And so I think we should just change the way that, you know, we kind of teach our kids.
For sure. I definitely think we need to make them aware of, like, other options.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? There are trade schools. There are different types of education. You know what I'm saying? Or
some people want to own their own businesses.
Exactly. Or if you really got the mind for that, start a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you have a good idea, if you have the determination for that. But I will also let you in and say that after I did leave school for a long time, and still a little bit, you know what I'm saying, it bothered me. I was, like, disappointed and, like, angry at myself because I felt I failed. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, first one in my house to go, you know what I'm saying, college, and, you know, I was the smart one, and, you know what I'm saying, you know, there's a lot of family expectations on, like, well, we know you're going to do X, Y, Z, and so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going now.
You.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then leaving, after I got back home, I was very sad for a long time.
Yeah.
I was depressed for a long time, and because I just felt I failed, and
And you gotta kind of, like, rediscover who you are, because it's like you've been living so long for other people and what you think you should be, but now it's like, oh wow, now I gotta really dig deep and figure out, like, who I am and what I truly want to do. Because sometimes you just never know. Like, you're going with what everyone else says, and you haven't really asked yourself that question.
Yeah. I had
until you have to.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then, honestly, that's how I got more into music, because music started to fill that void. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, I can do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I started doing that, and I just kept going. You know what I'm saying? So now it's become to the point where now it's the main focus now. My life, and I love it so much. Like,
okay. And then speaking, you know, back to the music again, like, what would you say is your favorite song off your project?
Your two favorite. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are my two favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man Don B. Hayes, I went to high school with him. It's my man Hazelwood.
Okay.
That's his last name. We always called him Hazelwood. I don't know why. But I didn't know he rapped, like, until I got back home, and I was like, nigga, what? Then I linked up with him, like, through another friend of mine I went to high school with. He played me some stuff. I was like, nigga, like, damn, like, you know I've been doing this, right? Yeah, bro. I was like, yo, like,
the verse was good. Did he do the vocals on the track as well?
That was me.
That was you on the vocals?
Yeah. He can't sing though, but that was me. Yeah.
Okay, the vocals sounded great.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. And so you would say that Redline and Chicago Love are your favorite
It's like Fight to the Death, bro. I can't decide, honestly.
Yeah, those are my two. And I mean, on Redline, it has like that jazz sound to it as well.
Yeah.
They did good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. It's had that noir feel to it.
Yeah.
Jazzy, 1950s or something. You know what I'm saying? I like that stuff.
And then on Redline, you kind of talked about how in the 9 to 5 in the workplace, or was it you or was it Don B. Hayes that kind of talked about the split personality?
That was me.
That was you. Okay. How you kind of have to have the split personality in the workplace, and you're one way outside of work with people that you trust versus in the workplace. And so I can speak to that.
I already know.
I can definitely speak to that, but I want to know like kind of your experience, like, and to the point where it's like our voice, our vernacular changes completely. It's like we're a completely different person.
Man, seriously.
Right?
It's like another version of you.
Yeah. And where do you think it stems from? Like, why do we kind of have to go in? It's almost like we're filtering ourselves and like protecting ourselves in a way as well. But kind of, what does it stem from for you?
Well, when I came back home after school, I like had a period of time where I was working in the corporate space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I hated it. Like, I really hated it. Like I could not stand it. It was like, for me, it was fucking soul crushing, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I just couldn't. And I had this one sales job, and I lasted like a month. Bro. I lasted like I got my first check.
Sales is grimy.
And
It's so
like,
grimy.
Oof, and it like crushed my heart every day, like, cause like you had to like really be a shark on the phone, G. Like you really had to like.
And you gotta really love sales.
Like,
I tell people that all the time.
Man, yeah, and like, but I was there because it was but once again, I found myself repeating like the school situation. I was there because I felt I was supposed to be there. It's like, oh, this is a good job, right? Okay, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I ended up hating it, and then I ended up leaving, and yeah, I just hated it. But during the time, I just felt so fucking phony, bro. Like just going in there every day, like I just felt so stifled. You know what I'm saying? It just was like just not. It was so fucking stiff, and I felt like I was talking another language, damn near. Like, like
don't use those slangs. You know, don't talk this way because it may be a little aggressive.
You look unprofessional.
Yeah, like these braids, they may be unprofessional. Dreadlocks, they may be unprofessional in the workplace. And so it's like we really, you know, and women, you know, straighten your hair. Don't wear your natural hair, you know, because, you know what I mean? And it's very unfortunate. And the fact that, you know, you see different people making it a law, like, oh, you can't discriminate against hair. The fact that a law even has to be created for that. I mean, and it kind of goes back to, like, you know, people that wear tattoos, people that have visible tattoos. It's like there are people that can be suited up who are dumb as a box of rocks versus this person who's tatted up but has a really sharp mind. But we're so caught up on visual appearance and image and perception, and it's always off. It's always off. And so, like, I definitely want to challenge, you know, people that are in these corporate environments, the CEOs who are creating the cultures of these different companies, you know, that create a culture where people can come to work and be themselves.
But speaking of culture, I think that's like what it is. It's like that. It's like white people's opinion versus ours. Like, whereas their opinion on our culture is different. They see it as remedial.
Yeah.
Whereas we know it's just cultural.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we're less intelligent or that we cannot play in the same ballpark as you.
We're not being aggressive.
Right. It just means that we are us. We have our own identity.
Yeah.
We have our own way to speak. But theirs being what they call the dominant culture, they get to set the rules, and you know what I'm saying? So we unfortunately got to either fall in line or lose opportunities and lose money or whatever we got to do. So I think that's just why we got to put more emphasis on like entrepreneurship, man, and just self-sufficiency. You know what I'm saying? And just
I'm all for it. So for the last song, Chicago Love, which is, I can't say if it's my first favorite song or my second favorite song. One of my favorite songs on the album, Chicago Love. What I thought was super dope was at the end of it, your pops coming in and kind of giving you a shout out. And it's like he's really proud of you. You know what I mean? So how did that kind of make you feel? Like his words.
I loved it. Made me feel prideful, made me feel loved and loving. You know what I'm saying? Because I love my pops to death, and without him, I wouldn't be, you know, who I am. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. A lot of love and pride, man, but also pride in the sense that was my idea to put the voicemail on the track. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
super nice
pride
touch
on many
to
levels.
it. Yeah. And then you said, you kind of said how that song kind of came from or stemmed from your dad's
From him.
clothing line, Chicago Love.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was that inspiration, but then kind of the things that you were talking about, like it's very like I mentioned, like it made me feel prideful of where I came from, and how you were very objective and had a very objective view. You know, you talked about the bad, you know, but you also talked about the good as well. And so I guess what else besides, you know, your dad inspiring it, but what else kind of inspired you to talk about like all the great things happening in Chicago?
My love, man. My love for the city.
Yeah.
Like you said, it is a lot of bullshit going on in Chicago, but it's a lot of great things going on in Chicago. It's a lot of people with talent, you know what I'm saying? Like you and I, we know people, you know what I'm saying? You was telling me earlier about showcases, seeing people that, it's like, how does no one know these people, you know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
So yeah, man, it's just pride about the city and just wanting to show that it's not just all bullshit, that it's not just the Wild West, you know what I'm saying? Like it's love here, like, you know what I'm saying? And there are people here doing things, you know, to help people, and you know, so I just want to showcase that, man, and also my dad says that we have the best skyline in the country.
Honestly, we do.
And I agree. So,
and you know, New York, you know, it's always this battle between Chicago and New York.
Man.
You know what I mean? New York is cool.
Yeah.
And if I had to pick a city that kind of aligns more with who I am outside of Chicago, it would definitely be New York.
For me too.
But the New York skyline ain't all that, y'all.
It ain't.
Kind of get into like the outro. And so that one's called Revelation. The intro was called Genesis. And on both, you're freestyling. It kind of sounds like you're outside and you're kind of just freestyling. And so that kind of brings me to my question of kind of like that Christian influence in it. And so the outro, you kind of have some scriptures in there. And the fact that it was called Revelation and the intro was called Genesis. And so, you know, how much did Christianity like play in the influence of your project?
It like when you listen to it, it's like it's kind of like background noise. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like always there, but it's not. It's never really the central focus of anything.
Yeah.
It kind of more so like, honestly, it started off stemming from the name.
Okay.
Because the name of it was like play on words, you know, Holy Smokes. My brother said that one day, and I was like, yo, I should name a tape that or something.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. You know, I want to use that phrase for something, like, because it fits so well. You know what I'm saying? And so when I kept thinking about that, that just kept coming up in my head, like, Holy Smokes. I guess it's like a subconscious thing. Like, I was raised Christian. I was raised in the church.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly religious as it stands now, but I always take wisdom from wherever it comes. But I will admit that it has been playing more of a role in my life lately.
And then like the album cover art, you know, if you look at it, it's like different pictures of yourself or maybe loved ones as well.
It's like friends and family.
Yeah. What kind of inspired kind of like that collage of just different things or different people that matter to you?
It's almost like painting you a picture of like my life these past couple years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just what I've been going through, what I've been thinking about. And so I was like, well, how can I reflect that visually? So I just was like, okay, I'm going to just show people what I've been looking at these past couple of years. Like, this is what I've been seeing, this is what I've been doing. So it's me and pictures with people. It's like my mom and my sister and like baby pictures and pictures of, you know, I think it's like a Union Station picture up there, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just different places and people and things that like, and most of those pictures are recent, like have been taken over the past couple of years, like 2-3 years. Of course, obviously, you know, it's like a picture like my dad from like 90s, you know what I'm saying? So obviously some of his baby pictures from way back, you know what I'm saying? So just kind of like a visual representation of like, visual throw up of like, this is my life like these past couple of years.
Yeah. Cause Holy Smokes, that's your first project, right?
Yes, it's like, well, no, it's my second mixtape.
Your second mix, okay.
Yes, my first one was like 2 or 3 years ago, and honestly it was not cohesive at all. Like, it was my first try. Like, it was just me stringing a bunch of tracks together and be like, this is a project now, wham, like, you know what I'm saying? And so but this one was definitely, I consider it, even though it's not technically my first, I kind of consider it my first, because it's the first one where I had a vision from the start, and I put it all together, and it was like passion in it, and I put a lot into it. That one was just a bunch of songs I just made and just was like, I think these fit together.
I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's on SoundCloud?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Got it. And I would definitely agree with you. I haven't listened to the first project, but this project is definitely very cohesive and it's very much of a story.
Yeah, had a vision
that you
for
want to follow.
You know
and you can
the
tell.
One just was like kind of thrown together.
Okay. And so outside of the first project that you had, are there like other singles that you have that you just randomly released?
Many.
Okay.
Literally, my whole like musical history is on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Literally, if you go back all the way down to my first like the first couple tracks, they're not even songs. Like they're literally like free range, just like verses. Like
when did you start releasing music? What year?
I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now. So
releasing music on SoundCloud?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 4 or 5 years. So they can literally go back 5 years ago and it's all there.
Yes, and remember when I told you my homie said you should record this?
Yeah.
Literally, when I did that, that's on SoundCloud.
And then in terms of like future collaborations, because the featured artists that you had on Holy Smokez, great choices. And so when it comes to the future, when are we expecting any new music in 2020? Or is it projects or more so singles? And then also, who are some artists that you would like to connect with specifically in Chicago?
Yeah, I'm always dropping music. Okay. That never stops. I always majority of my stuff I have out is just singles.
Okay.
Just because like I just like to be versatile, man. I just like to try different things. Like I got like some R&B stuff up. You know what I'm saying? There's this one song. It's called "Hit My Line." That's like my biggest song. People love that song. Yeah. Everywhere, like everywhere I go, I play that song. I perform it. People love it.
Okay.
So yeah. So 2020 definitely more singles.
Okay.
For sure. Always.
Is it gonna be a rhythm to it, like every week, every month, or kind of what do you envision there?
Just when I feel it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just when I feel it.
Okay.
Just
sporadically. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of artists I want to work with, I'm definitely will be continuing to work with my boy Don B.
Please do.
Man, bro, like you don't know what I had to do to get him on that song. Like you feel me? That like, bro, I had to harass him for so long. Like, bro, I need a verse. I need a verse, fam. Like, you too hot to not just give me no verse, nigga. Like, you can't just show me what you showed me and then just be like, oh, but I'll give you a verse when I feel like it. No, fam, I need one now.
Now.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely working with him more.
Okay.
And then first and foremost, let me shout out my man Byro.
Okay.
He's my engineer. So he's the one who sat with me and put the whole thing together.
Nice.
And he produced like a lot of the tracks that I have put out, and and he's featured on a lot of songs too that I have. He raps. Okay. He produces, he engineers, mix master, all that. In terms of like when the next time I'll be working on a project or a tape or anything like that, I've been spitballing ideas of what I want to do next.
Okay.
I think I want to go more in like an R&B-ish direction, just to do something different.
Okay.
So we'll see.
All right, y'all. That's JessMelodies.
This has been Reggie Smokez, man. Y'all can go check out Holy Smokez on SoundCloud, YouTube, coming to all major platforms soon. You can be expecting more music in 2020, more positive energy, more Chicago love, more great vibes. You guys can also be on the lookout for Chicago love clothing, t-shirts, hoodies as well, expanding into other things later on this year. You can also be on the lookout for more Reggie Smokez merch coming back soon. Not pressing those up right now, but they're coming back soon. New designs as well, so we're moving on the music and the fashion tip as well. So gotta get with the movement.
Make sure you get you some. I just got my Chicago love merch today.
Yes.
Join the movement, y'all.
Join the movement. More great media from Miss Jess right here, and we love y'all forever.
Chicago got next.